Happy Devils Wednesday. This is State of the Fan Address, episode 236. Coming to you live from American Whiskey and the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in South Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, X Live, Twitch, on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Pucks and Pitchforks Editor-in-Chief Nick Villano. There's a birthday party going on down here at American Whiskey, which is the home of the And Crew Brew, debuting this Friday, November 10th at 5 p.m. Eastern for an 8-hour powwow. 8 hours of drinking for the Devils take on the Washington Capitals. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing good. We're hanging in there. Speaking of birthday parties, my son is 6 months old today. So,
really?
Yeah, big. So that's big birthdays all around. Apparently, we love that. We love birthdays. But yeah, I've been a father for 6 months. I've been tired for 6 months. But we're in good shape. Do you know who's not in good shape? Is the New Jersey Devils, But can I be honest with you, Sam? I'm going to just jump right into this. Can I just jump right in?
Just jump right in. Yeah, just jump right in.
So here's the thing. I wanted to come in here and lambaste this team. I wanted to say mean things. I wanted to pull my best Don LaGreca impression and just lambaste the heck out of this team. Because they deserve that. There was no effort last night. It was I almost cursed, but it was poor. It was very poor. And it was just not a good showing. Terrible against a team that you really needed to play your best in. They had a 7-minute power play, and they gave up more chances against them in those 7 minutes than they had for themselves. It was pathetic. It was destructive. It was bad for my health. And they made us stay up till 10:22 puck drop to watch this terrible showing from the Devils. It was just bad hockey. Now, I can't come on here and continue to lambaste them because I got people in my mentions, Sam, saying we're going to miss the playoffs now. The Devils are going to miss the playoffs. We're in second place. And we're talking about missing the playoffs because we had one bad game.
I don't even know where
I
that
come on here and wreck them, but you people go over the top. Miss the playoffs? Are you nuts? Are you insane? Why are we talking about this? Yes, the defense is a mess right now. Ryan McGill has to get on his stuff because the defense and the penalty kill is awful. He has to fix it. Change the lines, change the pairings, change the defensive system, get people in the right position. So many goals are happening because the people are not in the places where they're supposed to be, right? That how often the Dougie Hamilton goal, I think that was the shorthanded goal to Miles freaking Wood. You allowed a goal to Miles Wood. Go take a seat. I understand he scored a goal not too long after that, but take a seat, Dougie Hamilton. What are you doing? You got to get the people in the right position. Ball and Marino just don't have the communication down. They just don't have chemistry. I thought it was there in the preseason. I thought that Ball deserved a promotion, but Ball got hurt, right? He it looked like a knee, but it was something lower body. He went to the locker room. He came back, different guy. That was not Kevin Ball. That was a different guy that looked like me trying to defend out there. Not good. Had a bad game. He deflected a goal that went off of Rantanen into the net. He was a disaster class of a defenseman. And Marino, there's just not working with Ball. Break them up. Put Marino with Hughes. It's right there in front of you. Do the easy thing. Sometimes the easy thing is the right thing. Do the easy thing. And Luke Hughes is actually one of the better defenders, and I thought he was going to be one of the problems. I thought you were going to have to deal with his mistakes. Yes, he still makes those mistakes, but he's fine defensively, and I didn't think that was going to be possible so early. I thought he was going to have a lot of struggles early. He's just been fine. I think that Hamilton and Siegenthaler is better than they're giving credit for, but there's always going to be issues. I think they're fine in their own zone. I think they give up too many odd man rushes. I think they pinch at the wrong time sometimes. But overall, when they're in their own zone, I trust them to kind of make the right play and to clear the puck when they need to. And then there's Brendan Smith. I don't know what to tell you. He's just having a really bad season. He had below average season last year, and it's worse this year. He was terrible in the playoffs. But Colin Miller's hurt. And I guess they don't trust Cal Foot yet. So, it's just not working out. What you're doing on defense is not working out. What I would do is I would play Cal Foot, see if he works. If he doesn't, you just got to bite the bullet and play Nemitz. You just got to do it. He looked ready in the preseason. And I know he got hurt, and I think it was the first or second game for Utica this season, but he's back now. He's looking fine. Play Nemitz. You got to go. If you're not, like the Smith experiment on the right side is not working. And if Ball is hurt again, which is possible, right? I didn't see if they practiced today. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just been crazy today. But with that said, Sam, with all that I just said, and Vitek is just too volatile. He's either making the greatest saves known to man or letting in stinkers. Why? Where? This is Blackwood all over again, who's getting just bum rushed in San Jose. Now, luckily we saw a good outing from Akir Schmid in his last outing, but anyway. We all do it with me now. Put our hands together. Do a yoga pose. Do your best yoga pose. Everybody breathe. Take a breath. It's not the end of the world that you had one disastrous game. Because guess what? It's the regular season. It's November. Early November. People were not even a month into the season. There's going to be chemistry issues. There's going to be defensive breakdowns. These things are going to happen. Does everybody forget December last year? Do you forget December? And how disastrous that went. I think they won 3 games last December. 3 games! You might have that this November. But guess what, Sam? Guess what? Sam, guess what?
What?
You're in second place by points percentage right now. You're doing better than the Hurricanes, right? They're the golden goose that you're trying to beat. You're doing better than the Hurricanes. You're doing better than every other team in the Metropolitan besides the Rangers. The Rangers are having this historic start that is common with Peter Laviolette teams that eventually falls off with every single Peter Laviolette team. They make the playoffs, but they run you get tape on them and you figure them out. That's what's going to happen. The Devils are probably going to lose that first Rangers game, or their first game against the Rangers. I think it's November 18th. It's in 10 days. They're probably going to lose that one because Laviolette teams are great for 3 months, and then you get enough tape on them, you play them enough times, you start to figure out their tendencies. Right? It's just another trap team. Every single time you have a trap team, it takes a little time to figure out because the players are different. They're in different places, and you're probably not going to have Hughes for that matchup. It sounds like you know what I guess, Sam? If I had to put money on it, I would guess that Hughes is back December 1 against San Jose. I think it makes sense. It's an easy landing spot. He gets to kind of get back up to speed. The Devils are probably the favorites to win that game. But that means that you're going to go 11, 12. I think it's 11 games total without Jack Hughes. It stinks, but it's not the end of the world. You need Nico Hischier back. I need to know where he went. It sounds like people are talking about concussion. It's some kind of upper body injury, but he hasn't been put on IR. No LTIR, none of those things. So, and there's reasons why they wouldn't put him on LTIR, by the way, because when you put them in an LTIR, you don't accrue cap space. So that's probably, even if he was going to miss 24 days, I think is the minimum for LTIR. That you might not put him on there because if you're a team like the Devils who want to make those trades later in the season, you want to keep accruing that space. But I don't think he's going to. I think he could come back. What is it? Friday? Is Friday our next game?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he could come back Friday. I'm not sure. We got to see practice reports and things like that. We just got calm down. It's not that serious. Sam, it's not that serious. It is okay. The defense is having a rough start. Guess what? Every single person knew that was going to be. Why are we surprised? Why are we acting like the sky is falling when we've won 7 out of 12 games? Right? We're way above 500. We're mad because Paul Bissonnette is complaining about us. I don't care. That's his job, is to piss you off. Excuse my language, Sam. I'm sorry, it slipped out. Anyway, But his job is to make you mad, is to make you emotional, actually. Mad, happy, over the top, over the moon, under the sea, whatever. His job is to anger you. And it worked. And it actually worked for me, too. I even wrote about it today. I wrote an article about, I want these people to get off my bandwagon. Get off. Get off the bandwagon. Good. Go root for the Rangers. Go root for, the Ducks. Go root for Boston. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get off my bandwagon. It's too crowded in here anyway. Let's go. Underdog status. And you know what, Sam? And I think you'll appreciate this.
What's that?
I think this is good for the Devils. This team, after the offseason, and I don't think they acted like it. I think they did their best to kind of ignore the noise, but it's impossible. There's so much noise around this team. When there's never any noise around this team, you get a little too big for your britches. Again, I don't think they acted like it, but it was definitely a possibility that would happen. You always need some humbling, right? You need to eat a little humble pie, and that's the Devils right now. They're eating their humble pie. They looked like garbage yesterday. Garbage. Awful. Awful. You made us stay up till 10:20 to watch that level of hockey. And maybe that was it. Maybe, it's probably not fair that they sprung ahead and then had to play a 10 o'clock game Eastern, right? That's probably not the most fair thing ever, because their body clock's all messed up, and it's probably why they just laid a donut in the third period and just came out flat. You're at the end of a 4-game road trip. Most of it's in the middle and the Western Conference of America. It's understandable why what happened yesterday happened. For the love of all that is nice and cool out there, we need to calm down. So that's I'm going to step off my soapbox. I'm going to open this beer, and I'm going to let you talk for a minute.
Well, I don't understand where all the negativity is online after last night's game. I honestly didn't think last night's game was that bad. Matter of fact, it points out everything that I've been saying for the last 4 or 5 years.
I'll be right back. Can you watch the bar?
I'm on live air right now.
All right.
Yep. Sorry about that.
Anyway.
That's what happens, I'm supposed to watch the bar right now, but anyway. So, I didn't think last night was that bad. Here's the good news. The power play had some chances. There were some bad penalties here and there. The shorthanded chances are the ones that are really making everybody groan. But you know what? Luke Hughes was not, he was not on the ice because he was in the locker room. And you put Dougie Hamilton out there, it's the same old story. We kind of going to have to live and die by, that. But honestly, Nick, the Paul Bissonnette, some of the Devils fans chirping online like doom and gloom. Some fans are taking their anger out on Palat for whatever reason. The bottom line here is this team got pushed around last night.
Yeah,
and they got bullied.
It was bad. It was everything that it was everything that the loudest of Devils fans worried about.
So it doesn't.
Which
so
makes
it doesn't
it worse.
matter.
Then they're loud again.
So this is my point. The analytics that we talk about doesn't mean squat, Nick. Does not mean squat. You know why? It doesn't matter how talented you are, whatever the X's and O's, all that. Colorado exposed one thing about the Devils. They got bullied. On one play, one player, although he did get pretty big penalties out of it.
He got 7 minutes of penalties.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't agree. I'm going to disagree with this point.
No. I like Timo's response. Just he got, at least he tried to do something. But again, if you don't take care of it now, the blueprint's right out there. You can do whatever you want with the New Jersey Devils.
Dougie Hamilton smashed Miles Wood's face into the boards.
He should have smashed him harder.
I mean, I just don't think. I think with Meyer, with how Hamilton's been acting, with Ball, he's been a guy who's been getting into scrums. Again, he got hurt, So I don't think he was getting in the scrum, and he got into a couple of scrums, but I don't think he was doing it like he was, because you don't want to get hurt in a scrum when you're shorthanded on defense. I just don't think. I just don't think that it looked worse than it was, right? The Devils were blocking shots. They were playing a gritty style of hockey yesterday. And, Colorado just was on home ice. Colorado had come off, by the way, a 7-0 thrashing. So they were pretty mad, right? They came in just like somebody, took a dookie in their Cheerios. So they were already mad. And you could tell, like, that's why Ross Colton was just like, it's like his girlfriend broke up with him right before the game. He was mad. Like, he was hitting people the entire time and just dirty play. And, the New Jersey boy, who's a Devils fan, he's admitted that he's a Devils fan, just came in with just salt and vinegar and just it was just bad. So, and the rest of that team they were making stupid mistakes at first. And I have a theory, Sam. What's this power play at 40%?
Yeah, about that.
Something like 40, 42, somewhere in there. You're going to stop getting calls when you score at 40%. They're going to stop giving you calls when you're an automatic power play.
Nick, have you been listening to Devils After Dark about NHL conspiracy theories?
I haven't listened to them all. I listened to here and there, but I haven't heard this theory. So tell me your theory.
Oh, we had that discussion in the NHL conspiracy theories. As soon as when it came out, it was 44.7%. I knew then that they're going to put an end to that, because the strategy was, look, if you just draw more penalties. Well, then Brendan Smith, remember, got an embellishment penalty the next game, and then ridiculous. Which was ridiculous. And the Devils only had one power play. One measly power play. So, I don't know why the league does this, where it's like, it's almost like, again, here's the numbers, here are the analytics. Oh, well, this is off the charts. That can't be. All right, well, let's make an adjustment just to make the even playing field. It just seems like it's always like that with the NHL. If something is just out of the ordinary, they just reel it back in.
But they only do it for Supreme, right? So the Devils' penalty kill is terrible. They're not going to not call penalties because they know the Devils' penalty kill is terrible, right? They're going to take away your advantage, not your disadvantage. So,
well, that's the point, because they did that to Marty Brodeur years ago. The trapezoid. That's why there's a trapezoid behind the net. You don't see that in other leagues, in college, high school, other leagues. You just simply don't. So it's just weird how the NHL works. It's almost like that's a problem.
And I know a lot of people. So one of Bissonnette's big points was, if they don't score on the power play, they have trouble scoring. I mean, okay, I guess. I wrote an article last week about the encouraging numbers that they're having at even strength. This is before Hughes got hurt, so I don't know what the numbers are now, but they're way high on chances, right? They have, some of the highest chances in the league. They weren't giving up a ton of chances. The problem is the percentage of their chances that are of the high danger variety is kind of, it's just not proportional. They're not allowing a ton of shots, but allowing a ton of quality shots. The 2-on-1s, the guys right in front of VTech, the breakaways, like way too many of those. But, and then way too many rebound chances. And that's on Vanacek. It's on Vanacek. I don't think he's been that bad this year, as bad as the numbers say he is. But his rebound control has been pretty bad, right? He's just on one. I forget which one it was. It was a soft shot in on him yesterday, and he kicked it out instead of picking it up with the glove or just smothering it. He kicked it out while he was sliding. So not only did he kick it out into a prime position, but now he's out of position, trying to get back into position. Or maybe that was against Chicago. I can't remember, but it's everybody is making too many mistakes. The offense at even strength, except for the power play. The power play is the only thing that's just been perfect. The offense at even strength, it makes weird passes where people are already in the lane. It has trouble getting out of its own zone. It has trouble staying in the zone. It's not, it's getting a lot of chances, and even of the high danger variety, but it's just not a sustainable model. And it seems like that they'll, for lack of a better term, avalanche those chances on a team and then kind of go to sleep for 10 minutes. And that's not a sustainable model, especially when Jack Hughes is out. You need to have more of a disciplined style of hockey. And I'm not even talking about taking penalties. Well, that's part of it. Stop taking penalties. Stop it. That's stupid. Don't do that. You also have to play a disciplined style of hockey where it comes to patience. You need to have patience when you have the puck. And that seems to be something else too. You're trying to make the perfect play when you just need to make the right play. If you keep making the right play, the perfect play will just present itself, or the other team will make a mistake. And you're trying to make the perfect play, like, I need to wait an extra second so this pass is perfect. Well, now the guy's in the lane. So the pass is no longer even good. But you have to make it because now there's two guys converging on you. It's just, I don't know. I really want to blame it on Ryan McGill, because if you want to find blame, I think that's like not a necessary thing. You don't need to find blame, but I need Ryan McGill to kind of figure out what's going on with this team, especially on the defense. And we need to make changes. I don't know. Whoever's in charge of the lines for defense, I'm sure it's a team effort of some kind. I'm sure Lindy Ruff has always been a guy who listens to his people. So I'm sure Ryan McGill is getting, his fair share of say in this. But why is my guy not changing these lines? Right? They've been a problem since game 1. We're in game, what is it, 12? This is 12 games in now. You got to see that there's a problem here. There's lack of communication. There's a lack of chemistry. There's so many issues. A lack of positioning, a lack of execution. Just the defense overall is the problem with this team. I don't like everything about Vanacek. I don't like everything about the 5v5 offense. I don't like everything about the middle six. I don't like everything about Dawson Mercer or Andre Palat or whoever the heck we want to blame, right? I don't love everything about that, but at the end of the day, it's the defense. It's the defense why we're here. The Devils are allowing 3.67 goals per game. And I think anybody you ask says it's on the defense. They're the reason why we're here. And they're just not making the plays that they need to make. They're not being in the position they need to be. They're not making it hard on the defense. They're not, one thing I will say is while Vitek Vanacek has been bad at rebound control, the defense has been good. They have been in the right position to stop those rebounds. It's just the rushes. The rushes, they're a mess. They are a mess on the rush, and it's a problem. I said a lot, so I don't know. Do you want them? What do you think? Do you? What's your thought? I know you spend an extra. You have an extra love for John Marino. What do you do to fix him? Do you put him with? Do you think him and Luke Hughes would be a good pairing?
I thought that from the beginning of the season, but that
why did they do that?
Well, I think this is more of a learning process with Lindy Ruff. Honestly, I think you have to make mistakes before you can learn. You've got a new kid in the NHL. You want him to make his mistakes now. And right now, what we saw last night. What's that?
He's not the issue. It's Brendan Smith and John Marino and Kevin Ball.
I think the Brendan Smith thing, I'm kind of sick of it. But it's not what you think. I want him in the lineup. We're only 10 games into the season. You want him to eat up those
He
games.
could be in the lineup, just pair him with Ball. He doesn't make sense with Hughes. They don't work together.
Okay, fair enough. But, I just can't
Because I don't know who you
stand-
replace him with, right? I'm not 100% sure that Cal Foote is the answer here. Because I haven't seen him play. And clearly there's a reason he hasn't been in the lineup. Colin Miller would have gotten a chance by now, but he's hurt. So he looked disastrous in the preseason, but he's a professional defenseman. We've seen him play well with a really good team, the Stars, last year. So
Agree. Yep.
But he's hurt. So, I don't think you have another choice unless you want to, inject Nemitz into this lineup, and I don't think they want to do that. Tom Fitzgerald told Ryan Novozinski, a friend of the podcast, today that he wants to send Akira Schmid down to Utica. He's looking at options to do that, whether he can make a trade or whether he can call somebody up. So it's clear that this team wants to slow play its prospects because the team is good without them. But you're not good without them. This defense is not good without Nemitz or somebody to fill that role. So either you change the lines up, which for some reason they haven't done, or you got to put somebody else. Like, something has to change. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, go on. Talk about your Brendan Smith theory.
Well, look, I'm not in love with Brendan Smith. There's a lot of bad penalties, but,
You're married. I wouldn't expect you to be.
Yeah, but I just don't know where all this hate is coming from, Devils fans. Seems like, again, you need to have leaders in the locker room. They may not be your best, most talented player, but at the same time, where was Brendan Smith when a lot of these shenanigans were happening? Was he on the bench? Is he a presence where it will deter some of these hits? I mean, with Colton...
has he been? Have you seen him? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't. And that's the only criticism I have on him. There are times where he makes some good plays, and there's a lot of times he doesn't. But, right now, we all knew that losing Ryan Graves and Damon Severson, there's going to be growing pains. Mm-hmm. And that's the issue. Now, I think Bissonnette last night went overboard. I thought he was just trolling because he just loves the attention from the online media of Devils fans feeding into, his ego or whatever. The sad thing about Bissonnette is he's actually pretty smart and he knows what he's talking about. But at the same time, he just can't help himself but just troll Devils fans. Just troll.
Or maybe, and this is the thing, is that these people are smart. You're right. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, these people are smart. And they know what makes them famous, right?
Yep.
And they all are millionaires because they're smart. They know that this will make them famous.
Yeah, I mean, with Bissonnette, in a way, I'm kind of disappointed in him because I know he's better than that. Like, he's smarter than that. But it's just like, he's like, whatever the believe or, the Devils fans have me believing like we're a bunch of, con artists. Look, the Devils, I'll give you an honest assessment of the Devils without kidding around. This is to be expected. This is their sophomore year after having a tremendous record-breaking year last season as a young nucleus. Right now, they are trying to better themselves to be an elite team in the NHL. And there are growing pains with that because in the salary cap era, with the amount of trades, they're relying on some of the youth to get there. Okay, Alexander Holtz yesterday, bad penalty. Luke Hughes yesterday, he had a bad penalty as well, although I thought he got it was a veteran play where literally the guy held a stick. I forgot which Colorado player.
I thought that was bad.
But you can't be careless with your stick. That's taught day one when you're playing on defense and playing hockey. You can't be careless of your stick. And he was. And guess what? He brought it in, drew a penalty, made it look, sold it to the ref. That's a veteran play by Colorado. And again, Colorado's not intimidated. They're Stanley Cup champions 2 years ago. And they just bullied their way because they were on a scoring slump, just bullied the Devils and took advantage and basically stole the puck away from them or stole the win from them.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to disagree with you on a lot of that. They definitely stole the win. They deserved it. They were the better team in every aspect of the game last night.
But let me ask you this, Nick. I don't know if it's a generational thing because you know I'm pretty old school.
Mm-hmm.
But does this team ever get pissed off? Like when Jack Hughes gets pissed off, he plays great. And I've said that many times. But like what happened last night? Like I'd like to know what's going on in the locker room because, you know, what does Lindy Ruff do? Does he lay into his players? Does he chew them out? Does he nurture them and coddle them? What does he do in this situation? Because he's already said that they're soft. This is a soft team.
I disagree that they're a soft team. I just think that they're so fast. Wait. Just like I just think they're so fast that the optics make it look like they're getting hit more than they're hitting. But Bastion hits a lot. Paula hits a lot. Palat hits a lot. McLeod hits a lot. Ball hits a lot. Smith hits a lot. Hamilton actually hits some. Not a lot, but some. Marino doesn't hit a ton, which is surprising because he's defenseman. But Siegenthaler hits a ton. You know, it's. I think this team is tougher than they're given credit for, just because they have Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier, who are not like they're not the tough players, right? They're not the tough guys, but they were blocking a ton of shots last night. They were, you know, going all over the ice. They were diving for pucks. Soft is not the word, but I think this team.
No, here's the word: passive. Maybe that's the better word.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. Very fair. They are very passive. They wait for mistakes to happen, and they try to pounce them. Colorado's not going to make mistakes.
No, Colorado. They dictated the tone of the game. Colorado. Maybe that's what I was trying to get at. The Devils are just kind of like, you know, sit back in their beach chair, you know, wait for something to happen, like a lifeguard. Versus Colorado, they were seek and destroy, ready to go.
Yeah.
And if you weren't going to bite,
the Devils are definitely too passive. And this is the point I want to make, because I know we're running out of time, and now we have to kind of be short with this. But do you think there's a lack of leadership with no Nico Hischier, no Jack Hughes? Because that's like, as you talked about it, I was kind of thinking, like, who do they go to? Because, like, I love Jesper Bratt. Having a great start to the season, he's not that guy. Timo Meier is in this weird place where he has the attitude of that guy, but I don't think he has the clout. Or he feels like he doesn't have the clout. Because he's not trying to hype up other players. He's just trying to emulate what they should do. And I think that that's not enough with this team. Like, I think that there has to be somebody gets in their face. And Lindy I never see him do that on the bench. What he does in the locker room, I don't know. But in the middle of the situation, I never see him go nuts. And so, with no Nico Hischier, with no Jack Hughes, Hamilton's the only guy I kind of see do it. But I think it has to be somebody else, right? Like what? Like I don't.
They need a Matthew Tkachuk in the worst way.
They need who?
They need Matthew Tkachuk in the worst way. That kind of player. You would think that.
I mean, yeah, of course, he's an MVP caliber player. Of course,
you would think Palat would be that guy, but he seems too quiet for me.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not providing that. I thought that was why they brought him in. And it's just not. That's not what he's doing. And you know what, Sam? I think it has to do with the fact that he's not living up to his own expectations on the ice. So it's like, who the heck am I to tell people what to do? But you have 2 Stanley Cups, and was he on the original Stanley Cup team? Has he been there 4 times or 3 times? Whatever. You are a championship caliber player. You need to bring that. Like, who cares what you've done in the past? Like, Chris Chelios was yelling at players at 44 years old. He didn't care. You know what? We saw that with Mark Messier. You know, I know I'm bringing up Rangers, but like Stevens or Danico. Danico's a great example of he didn't care that he was kind of a lesser than his play. He wasn't the player he was before, but he was still going to tell you what to do and how to do it because he's a championship caliber player who had done it so many times. So the Devils just like I need Timo Meier to be that guy. Because he's doing the right things to this. People are mad at Timo Meier, and I don't get it. He's like almost a point per game player after he struggled in the beginning. He's been fine. He's in the right places. He's making the right plays. Like he's hitting. He's getting in people's faces. He's defending his team. It's like, how do you not like that? I feel like he just got paid, so everybody wants to yell at him. It's stupid, you know. But the other guy who got paid, Jesper Bratt. He's not that player. He's not the leadership type. He's not the getting somebody's face type, and that's fine. You don't need him to be in a normal circumstance. But right now, this team is looking for an identity, and they're looking for somebody to give it to them. And in normal times, I think Ruff could, but it's not happening right now. But again, they are 7, 5, and 1. 7, 4, and 1. They're 7, 4, and 1.
It's not a bad record.
7, 4, and 1, Sam. They're in second place by points percentage. Points percentage. We're not talking about Edmonton here. You know, they're ahead of a lot of the Eastern Conference, Sam.
Yeah.
We just got to calm down.
Well, I think people should calm down. It's a long season. We're only a month in. Not even. And there's lots to look forward to.
Say goodbye to the bandwagon, people. You can scurry over the Hudson. Jump on that red, white, and blue. Because you let me know. Y'all let me know how that's been every single year.
Yep. So
let them be cocky over in Manhattan. Let them get too big for their britches.
Yeah, and don't be fooled. What? Don't be fooled by Peter Laviolette. It'll all fade out just like Gallant or Glant. You know, all those coaches.
Every single team. He's on what, team 7?
Yeah.
It's every time. I'm not worried about the Rangers. I'm worried about November 18th. They're probably going to lose that game.
Don't say that.
I'm worried about how they're going to play.
We may have the big stage out on November 18th. You gotta know how to hype it up, Nick.
You with that big stage, you're doing it big. But you know, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the overall. I don't like what I watched last night. I don't like that. But I'm not like saying this team's gonna miss the playoffs. It's just idiotic. It's dumb. Why? Like, don't be dumb. I don't like calling our fans dumb, Sam. I don't. But it's like, this is dumb.
There are some dumb fans.
It's like you're being incendiary. These are the same people that yell at Skip Bayless for his takes, but then make these incendiary takes just to get emotions out of you. It's dumb. It's dumb. Stop being dumb. There are issues with this team. Absolutely. Those issues need to get fixed. Absolutely. But they don't. It's not like they need to go get Erik Karlsson or go get some superstar to fix them. You know?
Yeah.
I do think, after what I heard from Fitzgerald today, when he was talking to Ryan Novozinski, I do think the goalie trade's going to happen. I'm more confident in the goalie trade happening than I've ever been. Don't know who, because a lot of the options that were there before are off the table, right? Anaheim's not going to trade Gibson. Connor Hellebuyck just signed for 7 years. I don't think Nashville's signing Saros unless they think Oscarov's ready. So maybe it's Saros, I guess, is the name. Maybe somebody in Florida. Maybe Gustafson. But he just signed a 3-year deal. The two guys in Boston are leading them to the best record in the NHL again. Like, I don't know who it is, but I think that he's trying. You know who's the interesting one, and I'm probably going to write about this week. And I don't want it to be him, but I think it's Markstrom is the one you're really looking hard at, because they have Dustin Wolf there, who's ready to go. But he has 3 more years, and he's 34. And I've been on this ride before, and I want to get off, and then we're not even there yet. But that's the name that's coming to me, and that's the name that makes sense on paper, but I don't think it's going to make sense in execution. So, but anyway, that's that. That'll be coming on pucksandpitchforks.com later this week, just to look at the Flames, right? Because the Flames are bad. So, how can you get the players?
Maybe Tyler
and then
Toffoli
can I do one more quick plug?
Yeah, one more.
So we got right now I have on Pucks and Pitchforks how this injury has cost Jack Hughes his Hart Trophy. He's not gonna. It's over. It is what it is. I have 2 sitting in my inbox right now. One from Marcy Rubin and one from Sam. Not you, Sam. The other Sam. I believe Marcy's talking about just the overall, like, what needs to be fixed now that everybody is losing their minds. Everybody calm down. And then Sam talked about the Marino Ball pairing. We got John. John has done a couple of stories. I'm gonna make Vinny do one. I'm gonna tap Vinny, be like, the fan base is freaking out. Let's do a story. And then I talked about 5 concerts or 3 concerts that I think would be cool to happen at the Stadium Series. And I wrote a bunch of other stuff. I wrote a bunch of stuff on Jack Hughes. Who needs to step up, stuff like that. But Jack Hughes has been going hard at Jack Hughes, and then Sam, I promised it last week. The PK Subban article did pretty well. Wrote it.
Oh, good.
I think I laid out a pretty good argument. So if you haven't read it yet, Sam, I know you've been busy. If you haven't read it yet, I do think you should go read it and then maybe do a report on Subban. I think it's a good topic.
I
think he would fix their problems if he's in game shape. If he's the guy he was 2 years ago, the exact same guy. I'm not asking for Subban, Vezina Subban. If he's Subban from 2 years ago on the Devils, he would fix our problems.
Oh, okay. Well, go to pucksandpitchforks.com. And thank you to all those tuning in. Remember, November 10th, here at American Whiskey, the Ann Crew Brew debut, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center. That's the Championship Plaza in the beautiful downtown Newark, New Jersey area. We'll see you live. Till next time, let's go Devils.